a for loop, which we generally use when we know how many times we want to repeat something, and a while loop where we're not sure how many times we want to repeat. So let's start off looking at the for loop. We used this code previously in the rock, paper, scissors project. So here it says for I in range 5. Let's run this just to see what it does. And we've got play game written on a different line 5 times. So what have we got? So we've got the word for, then we've got I. Now this doesn't really make any difference. It could be, let's say num in range 5. So we've got the word range. We don't have to use range in for loops, but this is just one way. And then 5. So if we run it again, we can see it's done something 5 times. We ask for 3 times, 3 times. Okay. What about if I was to change this to say 2, 4, 6? Now we will cover lists later. This is a list. Imagine now we're going to print. We've got the for loop. We keep the in. We've got number, and what this is going to do is going to print these numbers. So we run it. We've got 2, 4, and 6. How about letter in, and we could have a word like elephant. Again, it doesn't matter what we call it, but we want to print the thing that we're using to go round the loop. We run it. Can you see each letter is on a different line? Okay, so we could create this somewhere else. Let's have someone's name, and we can put here name and run it, and it's going to give the letter on each line. We could have, let's say, questions, and then we could have, let's say, question 1 and question 2. We're going to use strings, sorry, that should be Q. And let's say just question 3 to save time. So now we've written the questions, and let's just call them Q and questions. So now hopefully we've got the for loop, got the thing that's going round how many times. Questions is this list, which we'll cover later, as I said, and then we're going to print them. So these are going to be printed one on a line. So the for loop is very good at repeating each element in a list. Also, we can see we have the for loop, and what we are doing inside the loop, we've got this space, is indentation. So let's just say print end, and that's going to happen after the loop. And let's say print inside. So now this loop is going to go through each thing in the list, which is here, the question. And also, because of this space, it's going to do this line of code, print inside. When it's finished, it will print end. Let's run this. So you can see we've got Q1 inside, Q2 inside, Q3 inside, and then when we come out of the loop, we have no space, we have print end. So we've used this in Python for different things. This is a for loop. We're looping through these questions. We're using Q for each one. Print, print, and then print end. So we could do anything we like in here. Let's multiply by 2, so we're going to make it print them 2 times, Q1, Q1, Q2, Q2, Q3, Q3. So we can do a lot of things inside this loop, and then at the end we come out of the loop by not having this gap. What happens if we want to use a counter? Well, let's start off with count equals 1, and then in our loop we can print, let's say we're going to print the count, which is the counter, and then the question. So let's imagine these are just text, doesn't really matter what they say. Let's imagine these are like long questions. So we're going to print the question, but we want to know which question using the counter. Now each time we go around the loop we can add one to the counter by saying count equals count plus 1. Let's make that look nice. Okay, so let's run this. You've got 1, 2, 3, and then we've got the different questions inside this list. And then once we've finished, we've got print end.